The day I found out my husband was cheating, I didn't throw anything. I didn't scream. I didn't even cry. I simply looked at him and said, "Thank you, you just set me free." And 5 years later, the man who once broke me showed up at a conference and begged for 5 minutes of my time. He didn't get even 5 seconds. This is how I turned betrayal into my rebirth. My name is Julia, and I used to believe in happy endings. The kind you read in books. The kind where love conquers all. I was 27 when I met Ryan, a financial analyst with dimples and a killer smile. He made me laugh on our first date, walked me to my car, and texted me 10 minutes later just to say, "Still smiling." He didn't sweep me off my feet. He made me feel like I could keep mine planted and still be loved. That felt safer, stronger. And in 2 years, we were married. He told me he loved how grounded I was, how calm and steady I made his world. But slowly, he started to make me feel like those things were boring. He began commenting on how serious I was, how I didn't want to live a little. Translation, I wasn't wild or impulsive like the girls in his gym. I ignored it, thought it was just stress, thought I wasn't trying hard enough to keep things fresh. Then he started staying late at work, going to the gym twice a day, bringing home protein bars, and hiding his phone in the bathroom. He wasn't present anymore, not just physically, but emotionally. The man who once made me playlists and kiss my forehead goodnight now came home, scrolled Instagram, and fell asleep on the couch. I tried to bring it up. He brushed it off, said I was overthinking everything. One morning, I found a long blonde hair on his hoodie. I don't have blonde hair. He said it must have been from the gym locker room, and the way he said it with such confidence, I started to believe I was crazy. Until that text, a number I didn't recognize. It said, "I thought you already knew. We're in love." He says you're just roommates now. I read it 3 times before I felt anything. Then I laughed, not because it was funny, because it was over. Right there, on a quiet Thursday morning, everything I had built with him shattered like cheap glass. He walked in an hour later holding a smoothie and a bouquet. I handed him the phone. He read it. His hand shook slightly. Then he said, "I didn't mean for you to find out like this." That told me everything. I didn't scream, didn't pack with drama. I took my laptop, my art supplies, and my dignity and left. No warning, no goodbye, just a note that said, "Do not contact me." He did, of course. Text after text, flowers to my office, a long email that began with, "I was confused, but I was done." I moved into a tiny attic apartment above a bakery in Vermont. It was drafty in the winter and smelled like cinnamon in the morning. And I loved it. I cried into my tea. I painted with trembling hands. Some days I didn't leave the bed, but I kept going, one tiny act at a time. I started sharing my art anonymously online. People started responding, especially women. They didn't want perfect. They wanted real. They saw their pain in mine. And slowly, a community was born. I launched a small podcast, raw, unedited, honest. No fancy gear, just a mic and my broken heart. And yet, people listened. I called it, "She Rebuilt Herself." Because I was. Every day, one woman wrote to me, "My fiancé left me last month. I listened to your episode on grief. It was the first time I slept through the night." That message changed me because I realized healing isn't something you do alone in the dark. It's something we offer each other. I hosted online workshops. I taught women how to write their stories. I created an art course called From Ruins to Radiance. By the 3rd year, I had clients across the US, a book deal offer, and peace. But healing is not a straight road. One rainy night, I saw a couple across the street. He held her umbrella. She leaned into him and laughed. I froze. For a moment, I wanted that again. Not Ryan, but the comfort, the illusion of safety. Then I looked down at my hands, paint-stained, tired, strong. And I smiled, because I had become my own shelter. Year 5, I'm invited to speak at a women's conference in Chicago. Keynote. Sold out. Lights, applause, cameras. I walk onto the stage in a deep green suit and heels that click like power. And there he is. Ryan. 4th row. Eyes wide. Hands clasped. Hair thinning. I speak my truth. Not about him, but about everything I built after him. When I finish, the room stands. He approaches me backstage. Says, "You look amazing." Says, "I'm so proud of you." Says, "Can we talk sometime?" I look at him, not with hate, not with love, just clarity. I say, "You were the fire that burned my house down, but I built a castle in its place. I don't live in your ashes anymore." And I walk away. He calls my name, but I don't turn back, because when a woman rebuilds herself, she doesn't go back to the man who gave her the bricks. If someone ever breaks your heart, don't waste your fire trying to burn them. Use it to light your path, because the best revenge is becoming untouchable. Like, subscribe, and share this with anyone who forgot how powerful they are.